Hey, friends, welcome back to I've Been There. Today, we're going to talk about something I know so many of us struggle with, and that is confidence after 40. Losing confidence at some point in your 40s, maybe after a big life change, like starting your businesses, shifting careers, or adjusting to empty nesting. We all struggle with it. So, I want to talk about this today, and I really want to kind of dig deep for a moment about that. Because I remember looking in the mirror one day and thinking, where did she go? I had spent so many years taking care of everyone else, and somewhere along the way, I forgot about me. If you've ever felt like that, I want you to know you are not alone. So today we're going to talk about that and how to get that confidence. Society tells us that we should have it all figured out by now. But the truth is, 40 and beyond is a time when many of us start over. We start new careers, we start new relationships, new versions of ourselves. And all of us start to struggle with physical changes, that M word, menopause. Menopause started very early for me. I had a total hysterectomy at the age of 32. So that put me in what they call medical menopause. I had no idea at the time what that was going to be, but I soon figured out very, very quickly that that means that I'm going to be half crazy, to tell you the truth. Yeah. And I had so many emotions. I think that's even bigger than the physical part of it is the emotional roller coaster because it's almost like a roller coaster that is out of control. You can't stop it, you can't start it, you can't make it slow down. And it just comes in these huge, big dips and waves of emotions that you can't control. It's scary. It's awful. You can't explain it to people, and they just look at you and they're like, yeah, she just needs to be with herself or whatever." But I really believe, that's how I lost a lot of my friends along the way, and I didn't even know at the time why I was losing those people. And it wasn't that they didn't like me anymore. I didn't know how to control myself. I didn't know what all these emotions were, and they didn't know how to deal with it either. So, so many things happen when you start to go into perimenopause, menopause, and then the other side of it coming out of menopause. I'm 54 today, so that's a long time to be in menopause. But menopause, I guess, is for a different episode. But I did want to throw that in there. So if you are in that struggle or you had an early hysterectomy, I want you to understand that I understand and that you are not crazy and you are not alone. So, along with that, we have weight fluctuations, and I'm telling you, weight can fluctuate not just 5 or 10 pounds. We're talking 40, 50, 60 pounds. And if you don't think that's going to kill your confidence quickly, girl, it was insane. And even when you came to grips with it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna change the way I eat. I'm gonna exercise more. I'm gonna do all the things. But it was like running into a brick wall. It didn't matter how much cardio I did. It didn't matter how much strength training I did. It didn't matter if I ate like a little mouse or the Jolly Green Giant. It was just it just kept packing itself on. And it's just something you have to come to grips with. And every woman struggles differently with the weight and the fluctuations of the weight, because, our metabolism and our DNA and all of that. But I think a big majority of us do have that, because what is 40 pounds of weight gain to me is the same maybe to the girl that's always been a size 0 and now all of a sudden she's gained 10 pounds because she doesn't know where it came from. She doesn't eat any different. She doesn't do anything any different. Our bodies are just changing. Um, we're getting wrinkles. We're getting dry skin. Oh my gosh, the dry skin. I just wake up one morning and I had this massive dry skin. I didn't know what to do. I still don't. And what do they tell you? Drink more water. Drink more water. Oh my gosh, I should be floating somewhere. I drink so much water. And it's just so many changes are going on and they're all happening at one time. It's not like, you have a little bit of weight gain and then it stops for a little while. And then all of a sudden you have wrinkles coming in and then it kind of goes away for a minute. And then you have hot flashes and then it stops. No, it's all a tsunami that's coming at you at one time. So not only do we have those physical changes happening, we've got life transitions happening. Kids are leaving the house. Some of us are going through divorces. We're having job changes. We're starting to have to care for our aging parents. And if you're like me and an only child, I think that bears a greater weight to an extent because I have no one else. Now, I do have my children that can help and things like that, but my children are in that area of their life where they have young babies. They're doing homework, they're doing sports, they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're raising their children. They can't raise their grandparents too or help take care of them. They don't have a lot of free time. So that's a big portion of it, especially if you have a parent that one parent passes away or one parent becomes ill and the other one is not, or whatever the situation is. It's just these life transitions that are happening all at one time. We also get caught up in the comparison trap. Okay. So we get caught up in, well, a friend of mine, she is an only child and she's gained a little weight too. But this chick looks like she's got it all together. Like she's still wearing her heels. She's still wearing her cute clothes. Puts on makeup every day. She's got it together. And how come I can't get my together? You know what I'm saying? And so you start comparing yourself to those. And then another thing that we go through is how we feel invisible all at the same time. And I mean that invisibility by, let's say, for instance, you want to make a job change. Well, by the time you get to your 40s, those people that are making decisions for you to get a new job or if you want to get into another career, they're looking at, I need these college kids that, are young and vibrant and they have the social spectrums of, I need these young college kids and not these old people that are now in their 40s, right? What those people don't realize, the younger generations that are making these hiring decisions, they're looking at it, in my opinion, the opposite way. Now, should these college kids get an opportunity to start their careers? Absolutely. But don't discount your older generations. And we're not even old at 40 and 50. Let me just say that loud and clear. We are not old. We are in our prime. Okay. So I say that because you start to feel invisible because these hiring individuals are looking at you as you're too old. Well, with older comes wisdom. With older becomes work ethic. And if they would look at it that way, things would be different. But that's why we become or we feel invisible, is because everybody's kind of taken us out of the loop. They've checked this box that we are no longer needed in the workplace, in society, in the home, all of that. We're starting these transitions, and we're the best we've ever been, really, and they're going to miss out on that. So that's when we feel like we are invisible. But here's the thing. Confidence isn't about looking younger or having that perfect life. It's about owning exactly who you are. And when we can get this confidence and go on those, let's say we go on that job interview, you're confident to say, you know what, I am in my 40s or I am in my 50s, but here's what I offer. Here's why you need me. Because of my wisdom, because of my street smarts, because of I have been there, and because of the knowledge that I have. If you are confident in that, then you sell that confidence and you can make those transitions and those changes much easier. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have to shift our mindset to reclaim that confidence. Okay. Again, it's not about how you look, it's about how you feel. And when you feel better about yourself, the looks come with it. So instead of saying, I'm too old for that, we're going to say, I have the experience and wisdom to do this better than ever. Right? So instead of saying, I don't look like I used to, which I don't, and that there's a lot of good in that. I would say to myself, I've lived, I've learned, and I wear my story proud. This is who I am. All the struggles, all the good times, all the bad times, all the hurt, all the everything, I'm still here. And I have a story to tell. So when you're talking to yourself, think about it this way. Anything you say to yourself, would you say that to your best friend? Would you look at her and go, girl, do you not realize that how much weight you've gained? Do you not know that you hadn't, put on makeup in 3 days? Look at the wrinkles on your face. You look old. You would never say that to your best friend, ever. You know what you would tell your best friend? Girl, you look good. Where'd you get that mascara? How did you how is your makeup looking so good today? Even if she says, yeah, but you can still see my wrinkles, girl, those are laugh lines. Remember when we did this or that? It's a story to tell. Think of it that way. Every wrinkle, every scar, everything is a story to tell. Okay. And I want you to do an exercise for me. I want you to write down one negative thought that you had about yourself today and turn it around into a positive statement. If you're driving in your car and listening to this, don't do it while you're driving. But just remember that when you pull over or you stop or you do whatever, if you've had a negative thought today, and we all have them, I have them, everybody has them, I want you to take it and I want you to turn it into a positive statement for yourself. And I want you to do that every single day, once a day. When you have a negative thought, I want you to completely turn it around into something positive. So building confidence after 40, there are several things that we can do to help build that confidence. Okay. So one of the very first things, we all talk about self-care. We all talk about self-love. And this started not long ago. I mean, we've all known that we should take care of ourselves, but again, we had children, we had spouses, we had jobs, we had careers, we had all these things that took top priority over ourselves. And now here we are. Our kids are grown. We've had the same job or career for the last 30 years, or we've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 20 years. We've put ourselves in these boxes, and now we need to get out of these boxes, right? So taking care of yourself is not for anyone else but you. And I want you to listen to this, and I want you to understand that the reason you take care of yourself is because you deserve it. You've earned it. It's yours, and you deserve it. So when I put on my makeup and I fix my hair and I wear something that makes me feel good, I show up differently. I stand up straighter. I have more confidence. I smile more. Do y'all remember if you've ever had a job where you were in customer service or a secretary or retail or whatever the case may be, and you had to talk on the telephone like a telemarketer or you had to make phone calls? Did you ever have that person that, when you went through orientation and all of that, they said, when you speak on the telephone, make sure you smile while you're talking? There's a reason for that. It's because you portray and you have confidence in your voice when you smile. Now, the person on the other end has no idea that you're smiling at the telephone, but they can hear it in your voice. They don't know why it's different, but they do know it's different. Okay. So take those small things. Smile when you talk to somebody on the phone, just like you would talk to them in person. Take care of your skin, your body, your health. It's a form of self respect. We've got this one body, this one life. And, I started a journey of health and wellness almost a year ago now. And the reason for that was I was tired and I didn't feel good about myself. But I'm going to tell you, if you've never heard my story about why I changed my health, my wellness, my journey to be healthier and feel good about myself through exercise and eating right and all of those things. Just a side note, I still eat my chocolate. I still have my martini. I still do all the things. I just don't do them in the quantity that I used to do. Um, that's just a little side note. So you don't have to be so stringent that you're like, all right, you're cut off from everything you ever loved to eat or drink or do anything else. We're not that way, but you do make changes. And the reason I made that change was truly, as simple as this sounds and as silly as this sounds to some people, I bent over to tie my shoe one day and I couldn't hardly breathe. And that was my aha moment. This is nuts. I am 53 years old and I cannot bend over and tie my shoe without losing my breath. This is insane. That was my aha moment. So everybody has their own moment. That particularly was mine. And it was at that moment I said, okay, I've got to take care of myself because when I take care of myself, I give my best to the people that I love. I give my best to myself, and then I can give the best of me to the people I love, to the people I need to take care of, all of those things. So you want to take care of your skin, your body, your health. It's a form of self-respect. You also want to own your story, like I talked about before. the scars and the wrinkles and the laugh lines and the gray hairs. Oh, the gray hairs that I am still covering up. I may cover them up until the last day, but I'm still covering them up. I will tell you, kudos to the women that go and actually have their hair silver, dyed silver. It's gorgeous. I can't embrace that right now, but if you can, girl, you are my hero. But you've survived so many things, so many things that you thought would break you. That's power. That's a story. That is something that you can empathize with someone else. When you see another woman struggling and you're like, girl, I know what you're struggling about. And I can tell you, I can't tell you when and I can't tell you how, but I can tell you that you're going to survive this and it's going to be okay. And let me tell you why I know that. And then you can tell her your story, right? Because you've survived those things. We've all heard that growth does not happen in our comfort zone. We all know this. Um, and there's so many things that you can do to get out of your comfort zone. I have a lot of women that now wear a red lipstick, not every day, but on occasion, because it gives them confidence. Wear the dress you love. Wear the short shorts. Wear the leather pants, sister. Wear the leather pants. Start the business and speak up. Speak up. You have a voice, and I want you to use it. I'm going to tell you, I was absolutely terrified to start this podcast. I- I've been on social media now for a while, and I can tell you that 85% of it is the most wonderful experience I've ever had in the last 4 years. But I'm going to tell you that other 15% hurts. And it hurts because I'm human. It hurts because I'm a woman. It hurts because I have feelings, and it hurts because I don't understand other women not supporting other women. To be mean to another woman. And I know that comes from them having heartache within themselves. And I know that. But I can tell you, it still stings when somebody says something unkind or somebody, you know, says that I shouldn't wear something or that makeup looked hideous or whatever the case may be. It still stings. Okay. So I was terrified to start this podcast because it was another way I was going to put myself out there. Right. But I had built my confidence up for the last 4 years and done the self-love, and I work on that every single day. And guess what? Confidence grows when you do things that are scary. And every time I upload an episode of this podcast, I stand a little taller. My chest is out a little bit more because I can say I did it. I pushed the button. You know what I mean? And I want you to feel that way too. I want you to know you can push that button. You can walk in your leather pants. You can walk around in your dress. You can put on the red lipstick because it makes you feel good. And I want you to do that. You also need to surround yourself with the right people, right? Because energy is contagious. Let go of those people that drain your confidence. I know Susie is your friend, but negative Susie will drain your confidence like no other. And you can still love Susie and you can still talk to Susie on occasion. I'm just saying, if Susie is negative 24/7, be very, very sparse with your time with Susie. Okay? Because energy is contagious. And I want you to be around people that are uplifting. I want you to be around people that empower one another. I want you to be around people that say, even if they say, girl, I wouldn't do that, but you rock it, sister, and we're behind you 100%. You go for it. I, I'm proud that you're doing it. That's the people you need to surround yourself with. Find that community who lift you up. Even the small ones, even if it's just one or two people. I'm not saying you have to go to a convention and find 1,000 women that do this. Find a few around you. Find a group on Facebook. There are hundreds, thousands of groups on Facebook that are just there to uplift each other in this community of women. So find those. Keep a journal of the things that you're proud of every single day. Y'all know I talk about personal journals and personal journaling every day. And you can do this exercise where on the left side is things that you struggle with. I'm not going to say the left side is negative things because I don't want you to write a bunch of negative stuff. I want you to write the things that you struggle with. 2, 3, 4, 5 things, right? On the right side, I want you to write down double whatever the number is on the left. If that's 5 things, then on the right, I want you to write 10 positive things about yourself. I want you to write 10 positive things about what makes you feel good, what makes you have more confidence, anything that's positive for your self-love, your self-respect, yourself, okay? So if you do 5 on the left, I want you to do 10 on the right. When you do this, and in a very, very short period of time, I'm talking about days, it is going to be amazing to watch how it shifts your mindset. You're going to get to where I'm not going to say that there's never going to be anything negative on that left side, but some days you're going to struggle to figure out something negative. In the beginning, you're going to I could write a book about negative stuff, and it's going to be harder to write something about positive. But we're going to balance that out. We're going to take that scale and we're going to balance it out. And then we're going to get way more positive than we are negative. Okay. So I want you to reclaim your journey to this confidence. Okay. So I told you, probably in episode, I think 2, that when I started my social selling business 4 years ago, I was in such a deep depression and such a hole in my life that I wasn't sure I could dig myself out of it. Okay. And the very first thing that these women talked about in my community of doing this was personal development and journaling. That's where I started stepping into my confidence again. And that's why I tell you to do those things because it changed my life and it will change yours too. Because we do feel invisible. We do have all these life changes. We do have all of this happening. And our brain is like scrambled eggs. We can't get it all together and it's driving us nuts. So we've got to get that out of our brain and onto paper. Okay. And that's where my confidence started coming back again. And I started to do things differently every day. When I first started going live and doing makeup, I went live because I felt like it was my job, quote unquote, to go live. Okay. Okay. Well, I've signed up to show this makeup and sell it or whatever. So I've got to show up and, show people this makeup. So it was kind of like, all right, I got a job to do today. Today, 4 years later, I show up and do my makeup because it is fun, because I have confidence, because I am empowering other women and I am sharing joy and laughter and happiness. That's why I'm doing it's no longer a job. It is part of my life and I love it. It is the best thing I do all day. So that is how I started to change and show up differently. And so when you start to do these things, you'll see how you show up differently, how you show up for your spouse differently, how you show up for your children differently. Even it doesn't matter if you have toddlers in the house, teenagers in the house, or your children are grown and have their own families like mine, you still show up different for them. They see a happier mom. Your significant other sees a happier woman that they fell in love with. The woman that now smiles, the woman that now tells a joke or laughs at your joke or doesn't come straight home from work like I did and can't get to the bed fast enough to go to sleep and sleep as much as she can until she has to leave the house again. There were so many days that I didn't even see Kirk for days on end, literally, because that's what I would do. I'd be gone for 12, 14 hours. I'd come home. I have to sleep. I have to sleep. I have to get back to work. I'm working night shift, so I have to sleep. And so he would leave me alone and I would sleep, but I would sleep to the bitter end. And then I'm racing around the house trying to get my stuff together. And like, yeah, I don't have time to talk. I don't have time to do anything. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be around Kirk because this is a man that loves me unconditionally. I didn't want to be around myself. I was depressed and I was sad and I, I didn't know what to do. So all of that started to change. And as good as our relationship was 7 years ago when we started, it is 10 times better today. Um, and all of this started because of personal development, the journey, and the journey of self love and self respect. So I want you to know that there is power showing up fully as yourself. And if you understand, I did not say show up perfect. I did not say show up happy 24/7. I said show up fully as yourself, whoever you are. And I can tell you that I have never been more myself with any man than I have ever been, except with Kurt. And that man loves every bit of it. Now, I say that to say this. Are there things that irritate him? Absolutely. And he will make little remarks along the way that says, "Oh, you love that word." I'm not going to say that word, but he's going to say, you love that word, don't you? Because sometimes I can use words differently, whatever. But anyway, it's those quirky things. And I go, yeah, I do. I love that word. And we kind of laugh about it and we joke about it and whatever. I couldn't have done that 4 or 5 years ago. If he had said something to me like that, I would have taken that as a jab. I would have taken that as him attacking me. Oh, you don't like me. Oh, I say that word it's wrong. It's bad. It's this. And that's not what he was saying. So that's the part we had to get out of. I had to come through in order to get to this side. And that's what today is about, is building that confidence after 40, but being fully yourself. Because confidence isn't something you find, it's something you build. And it's never too late to build it. It comes from how you feel about yourself and not what you look like. You can change your mindset, you challenge that negative self talk, and you step into your power. Small daily habits build long term confidence. So, I want you to share your own confidence boosting tips or stories in the comments with me. Okay. Tell me what one thing you're doing this week to step into your confidence. Doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter what it is. I want to hear from you because we can all learn from each other. Okay. Because no matter where you are right now, you are worthy, you are beautiful, and you are capable. And if no one has told you today, you are an incredible woman. All right, my friends, that's it for today's episode of I've Been There. I hope this conversation reminded you that confidence after 40 isn't about looking like your younger self. It's about embracing exactly who you are right now. That you're strong, you're beautiful, and you are way more than enough. If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, send a message, or share your own confidence boosting tip with me. And if you have enjoyed this episode, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you're loving the podcast, it would mean the world to me if you'd leave a review. And it helps more women like us find this space of empowerment and encouragement. I appreciate y'all so much. And I can't wait to chat with you again next time. And until then, remember, you are worthy, you are powerful, and you got this, girl. Talk to you soon.